The Sports Box proudly presents Birnbaum versus Galetta in a field goal kicking duel. Watch as Sports Box host Hamilton Mike Galetta takes on local fan David Birnbaum in a field goal kicking duel for the ages. We will go live Sunday, February 26th at high noon for all of our YouTube subscribers. And if you'd like to be there live, come on out and support us at Mark A. Sorali Memorial Field on Flittertown Road in Elm. This is one you will not want to miss.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the show that makes you feel so good you just want to smile when you take a shit. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger Retard. Brian, how are you, my friend?
I'm pretty good. I'm not taking a shit right now, but I'm still smiling. So.
For any of you guys that are addicted to us and watching it during the bathroom time, there's always time to smile. So, today we talk about Henrik Lundqvist in his 400th win. 12th goalie all-time to ever do that. Unbelievable, this guy. 35 years old, going to turn 35. Yeah. 400 wins. Brian, as a Rangers guy, amazing. Still haven't won a cup, but you know, it's phenomenal.
And that, you look at some of the names ahead of him, he might be the one that doesn't get there, unfortunately. But, so with a 4-2 win over the Colorado Avalanche at home, capping off actually a 5-game winning streak for the Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist wins his 400th NHL game. Fastest in NHL history to get there, 727 games. Just unbelievable for a guy who was an afterthought. 7th round pick in the year 2000, over 205 overall. Actually, the second goalie the Rangers took that year. Yep. It's funny how that works out. To win 400 games is just absolutely amazing. And you know, Mike, you take a look at the guys who he's behind, and it's not, I mean, really, 8 more wins this season, he goes in the 9th all-time. For professional goaltenders.
As a Flyers fan, that's disgusting. But okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Get that out of my system.
Well, before I continue, as a Flyers fan, you've been dealing with him since the year 2005. From the opposing standpoint, I guess give some color on, what you think of him, how angry he makes you, whatever.
And I try to be objective as I can as a Flyers fan. Obviously, I've been told not to like the Rangers. It doesn't bother me that the Rangers are doing well. I think Lundqvist is a great goaltender. Being a goaltender myself, great goaltender. He's frustrating for a Flyers fan. He's frustrating. He's not a guy that has a bad night where he gives up 5 and 6 and 7 goals. He's not a goalie that gives up 3 and 4 goals. He's a tough goalie to crack. You really got to make him move around the net and really pick your shots. It's amazing how the Rangers have had a guy like this for a long period of time and haven't gotten over the hump. Usually a team waits for a goaltender to get there. You have that goaltender to get you over the top. Everything else falls into place. The Rangers, unfortunately, haven't had that full mix of players and compliments to get them over the top. But personally, I think Lundqvist is a great goaltender.
Yeah, I mean, again, conceivably so. Number 1 and number 2 all time, Martin Brodeur, 691 wins, and Patrick Waugh, 551. I don't know that Lundqvist is going to be able to get there. But what I will say is he's only 84 wins short of being 3rd all time behind Ed Belfour. What, 30 wins a year the next 2 years? What, you just throw the ball and making some noise? I think it's completely in the realm of expectations. He is going to turn 35 in March. I mean, he is getting towards the back 9 for sure of his career. And you're right. They didn't really give him enough of a supporting cast throughout his career, and it's a crying shame, frankly.
I think he is a Hall of Famer, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No one's ever going to wear number 30 for the New York Rangers ever again. That I can say wholeheartedly. I think their best chances to win the Stanley Cup have passed them by. They had a window. There may be a little bit of it there left, but it's going to be harder, going forward. But I got to tell you again, in my opinion, he's going to be the 3rd winningest goalie of all time, and unfortunately, he's going to be very much Dan Marino.
Yep.
To give you the analogy.
He could be. You're hoping he's going to win a cup in the next couple of years. But
I would love that, obviously.
Yeah.
I have a vested interest. But yeah, I mean, I think that they never really gave him, like you said, the right mix of players around him. It's a relatively young team other than Henrik and maybe like Rick Nash. We'll see where that goes. But again, as a fan of Henrik Lundqvist, as a guy who's just been spoiled as a Ranger fan, as to just how good he's been in his career, great accomplishment. I know that there's going to be many, many more names he's going to pass as he finishes out his NHL career.
Unfortunately, Father Time is not on his side right now. He's picking up speed on him, so we will see. But next we're going to talk a little Rangers talk. But first, a word from our sponsor.
This episode of The Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on The Sports Box.
So welcome back, Brian. Talk a little Rangers trade rumors out there. Trade deadline's getting close. Let's talk.
There's a lot of rumors, always with the Rangers. I mean, as I kind of said very clearly in our Rangers preview this year, the offense was going to be fine and the defense was going to be a tire fire. It's exactly what it is right now. Henrik's winning games. They've won 5 in a row right now, but it's not thanks to their defense at all. The problem that the Rangers have right now, and they're going to be one of the teams that really gets affected by the expansion draft and the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Yep.
Because the way it's set up, you can protect 7 forwards and 3 defensemen. A goaltender, obviously you're going to protect Lundqvist, that's no question.
Yep.
When the defense, because of Glenn Sather's foresight, or lack thereof, he gave Mark Stahl and Dan Girardi no movement clauses, which means he is forced to protect Mark Stahl and Dan Girardi. Not that any team in the league would take their contracts right now, but he has to protect them. And of course, you're going to protect the captain, Ryan McDonough. So any defenseman that you bring in that's not very young, which this team wouldn't be doing that right now anyway, you'd have to protect in the expansion draft. And so you take a look at a guy like Kevin Shattenkirk. He's an interesting player because his contract is up at the end of this season. So technically, he would not have to be protected, but then how much are you giving away in assets to bring a guy in who might not be there next year?
Yep.
And are you at the point right now that rentals make sense? I don't know that it does.
I don't think it does.
No, I don't.
With this team, no.
No, I think to me, you can't bring in a defenseman with any sort of tenure on his contract because you can't protect him unless you expect to get rid of Stahl and Girardi, which I would love to happen. I just don't see it. So do I think the Rangers are in there looking for some defensive help? I do. I absolutely think that they need it, but I just don't think that there's going to be any market there that's going to make a lot of sense because you can't protect them. They're very deep at forward. They do have some depth that they can move around for a depth defenseman, and I think that makes sense. But to me, I don't see them making a big splash for a defenseman for the sole reason that they can't protect them. Unless you can get Shattenkirk on the cheap. And you probably can't because they're not the only team out there bidding for him.
No, and I think he has a couple years left on his agreement, too.
He's a free agent at the end of the year.
Okay.
So the speculation was he may sign in New York.
Okay.
He's a kid from New York. I mean, you can expect him probably to be maybe a good free agent signing for the Rangers.
But again, is he going to get the Rangers over the edge? I don't think he is. I mean, it's a nice addition.
Well,
it's a nice addition. I just think they might need a little bit more to push themselves a little bit more. I mean, you figure that you got Washington. I think you still have a little bit of Pittsburgh in there too. So you got to get over that hump. So, I mean, Shattenkirk is a nice pickup. You're going to pick up a guy till the end of the year and then lose him. Because then you're going to have to pay him big money.
Well, that's right. Well, again, I think they're going to pay him big money regardless to bring him in. I think it's absolutely going to happen in the offseason. He's going to be their #1 target. But as far as this year goes, and again, you look at the Rangers right now of who might be exposed to getting picked in the expansion draft. To me, it's one of 2 guys. It's Michael Grabner, who's having a phenomenal year, and possibly Antti Ranta. Hate to lose Grabner, but we speculated at the start of the year that they might have signed Grabner to a 2-year deal with this exact situation in mind. Nobody thinks he was going to get close to 30 goals this year. I mean, that's insane for what they're paying him. We'll see how it turns out. I just don't think that... I think they're going to be in the market for some depth, not a stud defense because they can't keep him.
So it's the lesser of 2 evils. You get rid of Grabner and you expose him to the draft, he gets picked up. There goes that money away, but... In the same sense, you're going to lose a guy that's had a phenomenal year. Sure. So do you roll the dice and hold on to him? Or do you make him exposed and lose that money and then pick up some guys?
So there's some speculation, too. Could the Rangers trade Michael Grabner right now so that you don't lose him for nothing?
I think you can.
I get that line of thinking. I'm not entirely against it, but that would depend on what you think this team's going to do in the playoffs, and we've chronicled it well. They're not going to beat Pittsburgh and Washington in a row. They need to be in that first wild card, go to the Atlantic Division, and play your cards there. Coming out of the Metro is ridiculous. I mean, Washington's on fire. Pittsburgh's playing well. Columbus up and down, but they're still a good team. I mean, talk about murderer's row. Yeah. I mean, you're talking 4 of the best teams in the league are all in the same division. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I think you definitely got to go young defenseman if you're going to get rid of Grabner. If you're going to trade him, you go young defenseman now. Now, it's a shame. Not that they'll get rid of Lundqvist now. Obviously, you'll never do that. The guy's a phenomenal goaltender. But it's a shame that Talbot's gone because you see how now Talbot's a starter and he's playing phenomenal right now. But that's neither here nor there. That's another avenue with the goaltender. But I think you expose Grabner and you see what happens. He might not get picked up. I mean, Vegas has to pick up a bunch of people. He's a hell of a player right now. You never know. He is a big ticket. But if you do go Grabner, I think you try to make a move for Shattenkirk and sign him to a big deal. You have that money that's gone, so you sign Shattenkirk.
I think they may also look to trade Rick Nash in the offseason. And that may be a situation where they eat some of the money.
It is, but how many teams out there are going to be that one guy over the edge that's going to pick up a big contract like Nash and push him over the edge?
True, but you have the option now to retain salary. So if the Rangers looking to clear some money, again, Nash is about 15, 16 goals so far this year. It's not worth the 7, 8 he's getting paid, but who knows?
The Rangers are a young team, but they could touch up that roster a little bit in the offseason with some salary, but we will soon see. I think that's definitely something to talk about. It's a good discussion for us with the Rangers.
Sure.
Yeah, so
especially, I have a vested interest, so.
Yeah, and even though the Flyers are taking a nosedive right now, that's okay.
That's a whole that we could do many episodes on that.
There we go. I knew it couldn't last. I knew he had to take a shot. You want to just give me an uppercut there? Just hit me and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate you listening to us rant a little bit about the Rangers, talk about Lundqvist, talk about trade options, but we're always here to give you good content. And remember, you can always get us out there by social media.
Absolutely. You can follow us on Twitter at SportsBox Show. Also on Facebook at SportsBox Show, where we're doing some exclusive content just for our Facebook subscribers and likers there. So if you haven't done that yet, love to see you guys like us on Facebook for the exclusive content there. But of course, thank you guys very much for subscribing here to our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, right at the end of the show, you're going to see the SportsBox logo right over here. You can subscribe right through there, and all of our fresh content is going to be delivered hot and fresh to you.
And listen, very simple. Right into us. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how we're doing. You want to tell us something, you want to tell us to follow this, tell us to talk about this, or whatever. We're going to have some great golf content coming during the season. We have the Masters coming up. We have some big events. We're going to talk about that. NBA, NHL, all the good stuff. Remember, communicate with us. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching, folks. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.